Aloha! Welcome to Upside Down Pilates and Nourishment. My name's Lisa Orrig, and I'm the creator of the Joint Pain Eliminator program, where I help women eliminate joint pain so that they can get back to living an active life that they love. Today, we are going to learn how to make a fermented cauliflower blend. This is going to help us increase the diversity in our gut microbiome, as well as give us a new way to store food that's super easy to do and that will last for quite a long time in case we are coming across some food shortages. So grab some cauliflower and let's get started. I'm very excited about this. This is a new recipe. I haven't done it before, so I'm excited to try it out. It's super easy, and you can change this up a bit, but this is what I'm going to give a shot here. So I'm going to do a quart. So I'm going to use, I used about a half of a cauliflower, and then 2 carrots just chopped up, and then I would say this is about a quarter to maybe 1/8 of a onion, and I just made it into little slices like this. Here's some dill. So this is the dill I dried in a couple videos ago, and then you just pull it off there and chop it up and you can use it. It's best if you can use fresh dill, but dried dill works great as well. And then here's I think about 4 garlic cloves I've chopped up, and then we have 1 piece of onion we're going to use for the top to cover it and keep it under the brine. And so before you get started packing, you want to get your brine set up. So we're using a salt brine. Very easy. It needs to be non-iodinized salt, so sea salt is good. This is Celtic sea salt, my favorite. Second best, Redmond's Red. And then third best is the Himalayan sea salt. And I could talk more about that, but let's not talk about that today. And then we're going to use water. It needs to be non-chlorinated water. So the iodine and iodinized sea salt or chlorine in water will kill your ferments. So you got to have fancy salt and fancy water to make sure that you don't kill your ferments. I use Pure Effects water filtration system at home, and then I have the Berkey system at my Pilates studio. So this is Pure Effects since we're at home right now. So how you make your brine. You're going to take, for this recipe, 4 teaspoons of the Celtic sea salt, put it in a quart jar, and then you're going to fill it up with the non-chlorinated water in that quart jar. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and make it. So we're going to start at the bottom and just put a little bit of our cauliflower, and then on top of our cauliflower we are going to do some carrots and onions. And then on top of that, we're going to do a few of our garlics. And then we're going to take some of our dill and put it in there. And that's basically it. You're just going to fill it up the rest of the way. We need about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of head space, so that's this top. So we got to leave a little space at the top, so we can't fill it all the way to the tippy top. And I might have enough for another little jar here. And a little more dill. Delicious, delicious. Okay, one more bit here. Let's see if I can get more cauliflower in here. So I use cauliflower a lot in my cooking, and sometimes they run out of it at the store. So this is going to be a really nice way to preserve that cauliflower. And like I said, this is only half of a head. So if you did a full head, you could probably do whatchamacallit, 2 jars, if not 3 quart jars. Or you could use a one of those 2 quart jars. But I like it smaller because it's just me and my husband here, and so we don't want to get too crazy with it. Okay, so look at all this I still have left. I'm not sure Maybe I'll turn it into a stir fry or put it in another smaller jar that I have. Okay, so we're going to take the brine and get it nice and stirred up. It's been soaking a while, so it should be dissolved. You don't have to let it soak for too long, but before you start chopping vegetables, it's probably good to start and get the sea salt dissolved in your water. And then we're going to pour it. So you want the water to cover the vegetables, because that way it'll keep it from getting yeast. All right, so, or mold. The yeast is fine. The chyme yeast, that white yeast that goes on top, you can just scrape it off if you happen to have it. Otherwise, if it's moldy, of course you have to take it away, but I honestly have never had one with mold that I haven't been able to eat. I did have some chyme yeast. I didn't know what to do with it, but in any case, you just scrape it off. It was a while ago. So now, all we're going to do is take a chunk of the outside of your onion. You could use a cabbage leaf. So if you have like the full cabbage from your garden, you could use the outside of the cabbage leaf. You could use a piece of, of the cauliflower leaf. So if you have a large piece of the cauliflower leaf around the outside, you can do that. But I'm going to use the outside of an onion that I chopped. So let's see if I can get this in here. And then you just push it down. So you want the, beautiful. And I may have a little bit too much water here, but you're going to push it down. And actually you can push the vegetables down before you put this on. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, so that actually looks really perfect. All right, then what you're going to do is take this, your lid, and you just put it right on, and that's the end of it. Amazingly. Then you're going to put it inside of an area that doesn't get sunlight, so like a cupboard is good. I have a cupboard that I keep my ferments in, and let it sit for 10 to 14 days, and then you can take it out and taste it and see if you like it. And it's really just that easy, you guys. A lot of people think, oh, it's going to take forever to make my own ferments, or it's too hard, or they have all of these mental blocks about making their own ferments, and it's super easy. They taste delicious, and they last forever. So this one you're going to leave out of cool storage for 10 to 14 days, and then if you're happy with it, you're going to put it into cool storage. So that could be a root cellar or your refrigerator, not freezer, because then you'll kill all the good bugs, but you'll put it into the fridge, most likely, and then it will last 6 months to a year, unless you eat it all before that. Now, I have ferments that have been 3 to 4 years old that are still delicious and work fine. I have a jar of lemons that I fermented that I can't eat very fast, and I mean, I made that thing 4 or 5 months ago, or 4 or 5 years ago now. So, and I just keep, cutting off a little bit of lemon, put it on my salad, and then I like the juice from the lemons on my salad as well. So, how you're going to eat this? You can just eat it like a little snack right out of the jar. You can put a little maybe flaxseed oil or udo's oil on it. Mix it in with some avocados and have a little fermented salad if you like. One of the things that we do with the GAPS, especially the kids, but even adults, if the damage in the colon is really bad from medical damage oftentimes, so that's going to be like antibiotics, the NSAIDs, different kinds of painkillers, other meds. They just rip your digestive system apart and destroy the microbiome. Oftentimes, the medically induced bowel disease, that really does not heal very easily. And so before people can start to introduce vegetables, they actually ferment the vegetables first, and then they boil them in with their soups. So this can give you a variety into being able to have some variety of vegetables. What happens is the lactobacillus pre-digests the fibers, and so then when it's pre-digested by the lactobacillus, which is the good bacteria inside of our ferments, and then you boil it, the fibers are broken down more extensively, so it makes it a lot easier for people with those types of gut issues to heal. So people with ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, all of that. And that's what I've had to do to be able to heal my gastrointestinal tract. I spent a very long time where I could not eat certain raw foods like vegetables or fruits or anything like that, but I could after I fermented them and boiled them and then ate them in my soups. So that is one way to start introducing vegetables into your diet, is by fermenting them first and then boiling them. And this would be great in a soup. So the other thing to remember is they'll keep for a really long time. So if you are starting to get concerned about food shortages, which it looks like that's going to start happening here and already has happened, start making your ferments and keep them in your fridge. And then if things get bad, you're going to be able to have all sorts of vegetables sitting right there that you can put in soups and stews, you know. Some chicken with this and a little bit of water, and that's a great soup, you know. So good things to think about, and you can do this even if you don't live on a farm. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Click like. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Where else? YouTube. Well, we're on YouTube right now. All sorts of places that you can connect with me. And if you do try this out, please let me know in the comments how it went for you. And if you have any questions about it, please, ask them in the comments. I do try to get back with all of the questions that we have. Alrighty. Excellent. Well, I will see you next time. You have an absolutely lovely day. Aloha!